In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 things that I wish I knew when I was 20. I am now 36. Even though some people still think that I look like I'm in my 20s, I'm happy about that. But I do have some wisdom that I have learned in that time that I really wish the 20-year-old me knew. And so I wanted to make this video to share that with you. And before I get into it, I just wanted to give you a little bit more of an idea of where I was at when I was 20. I was homeless. I was starved. I wasn't completely homeless. I did sleep on a couch in a tinny house for a period of time, which wasn't the most ideal place to be living, but it was either that or the street. And I was a very angry person at that age as well. So I have learned to grow and evolve over the last 16 years, and I've really leveled up as a person. And I think these 5 things that I'm going to share with you will help you to be able to level up and create a great life for yourself. Now, the first thing that I'm going to share is in your 20s, if you're 20 or in your 20s, this is the best time to take risks. Now, this is because in your 20s, you don't have as much responsibilities. Some people, may have kids young, but a lot of 20-year-olds still haven't, started their families yet. And because of that, you don't have, the responsibilities of the kids or the responsibilities of mortgages, the sorts of responsibilities you have in your 30s or 40s. So because you don't have those responsibilities, you are able to take the most risk at this age. And if I was a 20-year-old now, I would spend my time figuring out what I really enjoy doing, what makes me happy. What could I do to earn money that's going to make me happy? What do I really enjoy doing? I'd ask myself, what lifestyle would make me happy so that I'm waking up on a Monday morning, pumped up, ready to go with my day. And once you sort of figure out what you really enjoy doing, what lights you up, what excites you, this is why you're able to take those risks. You may want to try and, be an entrepreneur, build an online business. You can take these risks when you don't have those responsibilities of children and mortgages. So just figuring out what you really enjoy doing and taking those risks to monetize those passions so that you could create an income that, is doing something that you love, doing something that you enjoy, that you're really passionate about, and that's going to make you happy as well. Now, because you're still young, you're in your 20s, because, life is long. Most people are going to live till their 70s or 80s. When you're in your 20s, you've still got all this life ahead of you. So even if you're taking these risks, you're trying out these different hobbies or interests, you're putting the effort in to create your own businesses or monetizing your passions, you could fuck up for the next 10 years and still be young as fuck and still have time to get a safe job. So realize this is the best time in your life to be pursuing your hobbies and interests, to monetize them, to take those risks. And even if it doesn't work out, you're still young. You still have time to, pursue something else. Now, for me, in my 20s, I didn't really know what exactly I wanted to do, but I knew that I didn't want to be working just a minimum wage job or a soul-crushing job that I don't enjoy doing. So I've spent a lot of time in my 20s and 30s trying to figure out what excites me, what I really enjoy doing. And I was originally pursuing a baking business because I'm a really good baker. I'm really good at cake decorating. I make amazing cakes. I have this natural talent. I was pursuing this business and I realized I had to pull the pin on it. And it was because I broke my back when I was 19. I didn't find out until I was 25 and I had to have a spinal fusion surgery. And I realized because I get back pain really easily that this baking business wasn't going to work because physically I couldn't produce enough baking every week to pull in a full-time paycheck. So I pulled the pin on that business. I'm trying to think what age. I think about 33, 34. And then I started pursuing my online business at the age of 34. So that's the point I'm making, is you could spend the next 10 years pursuing things that don't work out, still be young enough to start again. Now, the second thing that I wish I knew when I was 20 is that your subconscious mind controls 95% of your reality. So the way the mind works is it's like a computer that runs on programs. And most of your subconscious programming is done in the first 7 years of your life. So in the first 7 years, you're operating in theta brainwave. This is when you're in your subconscious mind. You don't have a conscious mind yet. This is why kids are really imaginative. And this is where all your programming gets done, because everything that's going on around you is going straight into your subconscious mind. You become a product of your environment. So for example, in those first 7 years, if you grew up in a family like a lot of us did, where money is tight, money is hard to make, money doesn't grow on trees, that programs your subconscious mind to be in lack of money and to have limiting beliefs around money. And so then when you grow up and you go out in the world to earn money, your subconscious programming won't allow you to be able to earn lots of money and be rich or wealthy if your programming is money's hard to make. So reprogramming your subconscious mind is what will literally change your life. All your results, like money, success, love, relationships, health, all your results in life comes from the programming of your subconscious mind. And the only way to change results, if you're not happy with the results you get in your life, the only way to change that is by changing your subconscious programming. So a lot of people try to change things in the external environment, not realizing that the external environment is just a projection of your internal environment. So they're putting the attention out here, trying to change things out here, and nothing's changing. That's because the focus needs to go from out here to in here to start reprogramming yourself. We all have these self-limiting beliefs deep within our subconscious mind. And what quantum physics shows us is that beliefs create reality. What you believe is what you experience. So if you believe money is hard to make, that is what you will experience. So we have to, become aware of what our self-limiting beliefs are, because a lot of them we're not aware of. They're deep in our subconscious. And then when you start changing your beliefs, you start, when you have a core belief in your subconscious that money is easy to make, this is when money just starts flowing into your life. If you're the type of person that says, I'm always sick, you're creating that in your reality. You're creating the experiences of always being sick. So this is why reprogramming your mind is powerful. When you change those beliefs, you shift reality. So this is how you will create a much better reality for yourself, taking the time to create a daily practice to reprogram the subconscious mind. And I do have videos on my channel that talks more about how you do that. Now, the third thing that I wish I knew when I was 20 is enjoy the process more than the destination. So what does that mean? It means to enjoy working towards the goal more than what the goal gets you when you achieve it. So let's say you're working towards being a championship boxer, right? The idea is that you enjoy the training and building your strength and learning the boxing techniques more than winning the championship, more than the success, the money or the house or the cars, you know. And this is because happiness doesn't come from anything in the external. So people think, you know, when I get that dream home, when I get that $1 million in my bank account, when I win this championship, then I'll be happy. And then people get these things and then they realize they're still not happy. And that's because true happiness doesn't come from anything externally. It comes from within. And you will be much happier if you learn to just enjoy the process, enjoying working towards achieving the goal. And when you focus on that, when you're enjoying the process and you don't actually care about the destination, the trophies, the money, the success, or whatever it's going to get you, this actually energetically, like this is like universal laws, energetically, you will actually be able to attract those results that you're wanting a lot easier. Now, this is because when you are focused on the outcome, when you are focused on the results, energetically, you create resistance and you actually block the results from coming in. So by focusing on enjoying the process and not the destination, puts you in a powerful position because you're detached from the outcome. When you are detached, that is when the magic happens. That is when you get the results that you're wanting. So learn to enjoy the process, have fun with it. It's like when I was working towards my baking business, I wasn't making a lot of money, but I really enjoyed, you know, the creativity, because it's kind of like art with food. And I just really enjoyed being arty and creating these amazing cakes that just look really cool. And then when people see them, they come and, see these cakes that I make, you see their faces light up and it just makes you feel really good. And it's the same with this online business. I'm enjoying creating these videos, posting them online, connecting with people online that are like-minded and, my videos resonate with them, making these connections. I have people messaging me, that thank me for my videos, and that makes me feel really good, and I enjoy that more than the money that the business can bring me or the success or the following, it's connecting with the people. So when you learn to enjoy the process, you will actually manifest better results for yourself. The fourth thing that I wish I knew when I was 20 is to focus on your blessings and not what you lack. A lot of the times we focus on the lack. We focus on what we don't have, what we wish we had. And that puts us into a negative, low vibe state that causes us to have these negative thoughts and negative feelings about our life, about reality, and then we're not enjoying our life. We all have blessings, and some people, they take things for granted. So this is why gratitude, an attitude of gratitude will dramatically improve your life. When you have a gratitude practice, like I like to have a gratitude practice where I just think of 3 things I'm grateful for every day. Gratitude gets you to focus on the blessings and not your lack, not the lack in your life, right? And then when you focus on your blessings, you realize, wow, I actually have some really cool things that, going on in my life. I'm actually really lucky. I've got quite a lot of, cool stuff. That shifts your whole emotional state. That shifts your thoughts and feelings so you'll be more positive. And then by the laws of the universe, this is law of attraction, when you're actually genuinely grateful for what you already have, for your blessings, by the laws of the universe brings more things into your reality for you to be grateful for. When you're not being grateful, you're taking things for granted, you're living in lack, you're just going to keep attracting in more lack. So gratitude is really powerful. And I'm going to share an example of, some things that people take for granted. Walking. Being able to get up and walk. A lot of people take that for granted. And I used to as well until I had to have spinal surgery. When I had my spinal surgery, I had a spinal fusion. I was very stiff. Like I was stiff like a board. I could not bend. I couldn't even walk properly where like I couldn't pick my feet up off the ground. I was so stiff and I felt really vulnerable. I didn't like it. And also I live in a city that had some really bad earthquakes. Like we had a couple of major earthquakes that, were fatal. And I remember thinking to myself, like when I was in that situation of just being stiff like a board and barely able to move properly, I thought, man, if an earthquake hit, I can't get up and run to safety. Like, what am I going to do? It was kind of a scary thought. Luckily, we haven't had a major earthquake since. But it's, I realized, man, people take walking for granted. There are people like before agreeing to my spinal surgery, I did a lot of research into it, looking at the pros and the cons, because there are risks involved. And I learned that there are people out there with bad backs that have pinched up nerves. They're in chronic pain every day. Nothing can be done for them because surgery isn't always the answer. And some of these people had surgery and it was a failed surgery, so nothing can be done for them. They're stuck living in pain and they can't leave their house. They can't leave their house. They have no quality of life. And so that's one example of how people take things for granted. Being able to just get up and walk. Not everyone can actually do that. And if you can't leave your house, it gets pretty depressing. So that's one example. Another example was just like how I was saying, how we had these major earthquakes and we had no power. I can't remember for how long, but we had no power. And I remember going down to the supermarket to buy some food, needed some food, and I bought things for the refrigerator, forgetting that we had no power and we can't store things in the fridge. I had like milk and yogurt, things like that. And I realized, we take just having a refrigerator for granted. So that was eye-opening. So the point is when you start focusing on your blessings, you will be a much happier person. You'll realize that life is pretty good. You do have good stuff happening. And like I said, by the laws of the universe, when you express genuine gratitude for what you have, more things will come into your reality for you to be grateful for. So I highly recommend starting up a daily gratitude practice. Now, number 5, the last thing that I wished I knew at 20 was to develop emotional intelligence. I have realized now that humans lack emotional intelligence. And it's something we should learn. Emotions play a very big role in our life. And I learned from Dr. Joe Dispenza's work that your body actually memorizes emotions. Your body, like a lot of us are walking around with bodies that have memorized negative emotions. And so because, back to the subconscious programming, the body memorizing these negative emotions is a subconscious program. So basically, the body is running on a subconscious program, an emotional program. So if you find yourself always feeling negative and you're like, I don't know why I feel negative, but I'm just always feeling negative, it's because your body has memorized the negative emotions. And I learned this from Dr. Joe Dispenza, and I applied his work to unmemorize negative emotions and then get the body to memorize positive emotions. And it's completely changed my emotional state. I used to wake up feeling negative. Now I wake up feeling happy and positive and enjoying my life. And another thing I had to do was basically revisit my past hurts and heal my wounds, heal from my unresolved traumas. Because I learned that we actually store emotions and trauma in the body, and it's been scientifically proven that it can create disease and illness in the body. For example, if you're hanging on to resentment, like I used to be a very angry person that held on to a lot of resentment, resentment can manifest cancer in the body. So this is why it's really important to actually learn how to deal with our emotions. So we're not storing them, so we're not suppressing them, because all of us are walking around with repressed or suppressed emotions in the body. And I've learnt a bit about this from reading Dr. David Hawkins' book, Letting Go, where he talks about the three main ways we deal with our emotions, which is suppression, expression. So even when you express emotions, you're still suppressing some of it in the body. And escapism. So that's like, distracting yourself with things in the external environment. And all three of those ways that we deal with our emotions causes us to suppress them in the body. So we've never really been taught how to deal with these emotions. And that's what the Letting Go book is about. It's teaching you the letting go technique so you don't store emotions. So real quick, I'll just let you know what the letting go technique is. It's basically when you have a negative emotion that comes up, instead of resisting it, like we normally resist it, we don't want to deal with the emotion, we want to escape from it. There's resistance there. Instead, what you do is you just accept this is how you feel. You allow the emotion to be there. You sit with it. You feel into it. You observe it. And what happens is the emotion actually just clears itself out. Because emotion stands for energy in motion. So emotions are just energy. So as you allow that energy to be there, instead of resisting it, because what you resist persists, so instead of resisting it, you're allowing it to be there, you're accepting it, you're feeling it, because feeling is healing. You observe it. The energy will move itself out. It'll clear itself out of your body, and you've processed the emotions. And so that's when you're not storing it, you're not suppressing it in the body. It's a great technique, and if you want to learn more about that, I recommend reading Dr. David Hawkins' book, Letting Go. So I've been applying that technique, dealing with my emotions when they're coming up. I've been, healing my wounds and traumas by doing shadow work. Shadow work is a great way to find your wounds so that you can heal them. So I would recommend, starting up a shadow work practice and learning how to actually deal with your emotions so you're not suppressing them in the body, developing that emotional intelligence, and that's what's going to lead you to be a happier and healthier person. So I hope you liked this video and you got some sort of value out of it. And if you did, just let me know by smashing the like button or write a comment. If you like this sort of content, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification. I'm going to leave a follow-up video here for you to check out that I think will be a great video to watch after this one. So feel free to watch that. Have an awesome day. Peace.